Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So in the previous video I talked about the top 10 Hatcher monsters as chosen by JP YouTubers. And then this video will be like a supplement to that video, where it's my choices. And then yeah, I agree with all the choices that were made by the JP players, but these are my personal top 10. Okay, so number 10 is going to be Juliet Transcendent. And yeah, when she was first announced, I was not very impressed because she didn't seem like she was so different from her Ascension form, which this is based on. But actually, I've been using her a lot. I don't know why, just I keep going back to her and she's always been great. So she is a Pierce with null damage wall, null wind. This is a super null damage wall, so when she hits the damage wall, she'll get a multiplier to her attack for the rest of that turn. She's got very good stats, crazy attack in particular, even though she is a blast type. And then her bump combo, she's got the solid bullet, that's like Ragnarok, and then she's got the super meteor struction. And yeah, very strong bump combos, and then not blocked by anything, not laser bearers or homing absorbers or anything. And then Strike Shot is also very good. It reveals all of a boss's weak points. So that can be great damage on her own turn while she's, hitting those weak points. And then it will also help your teammates in future turns get more damage in there. Yeah, I used her in Cocoa to make that max luck. She's also pretty good in Brutus, even though she's off element. Yeah, Juliet, pretty good. Number 10. Okay, number 9, this is a very personal choice, but this is Athos, Transcendent. And then he was part of the Three Musketeers series that recently got the Transcendent forms. And a lot of people felt that that series was a dud. But of those three characters, I think Athos is the best. Because when they mashed his two forms together, that made for a really good character. But yeah, he has the double null, null damage wall, null warp. And then he picked up a new ability, which is the Weak Point Slayer. And then this is the key to him, because his bump combo, he's got the lock-on one-way laser. And so if you get that in the weak point, that's triple damage, so that's really good. And then the Strike Shot, he's got the shoots a laser on every bound, and that can be used in the same way as the lock-on one-way. And then he's also got the Speed Up sub-bump combo, so that makes him good for support as well. And also good for himself, because his speed is on the slow side. So if you do use him, you might want to use him with a Blast Bump character. But yeah, he's on here for basically two reasons. One is for floor 37 of the Tower of Champions, which is my least favorite floor of the tower. But with him, it's become a lot easier, so very grateful for that. And then I also always use him for the Wood Time Trial. So that means I am guaranteed to use him, a few times a week, which is more than I can say for most of my characters. So yeah, that is Athos Transcendent, number 9. Okay, number 8 is Meliodas Ascension. And then he was from the Nanatsu no Taizai collaboration. He is a collaboration character, so no longer available. Sorry about that. But really good. He's got the double null ability, the Minesweeper M and Null Warp, neither of which are on the gauge, so that's good. And then he has Counter Slayer. So yeah, any damage that he takes, he'll get the Slayer for that character. So he's good in all quests, all elements. The bump combo is really good as well. It's the 3-shot on everybody, plus the weak point shot. So that's lots of, kind of guaranteed hit attacks going out. So really good at mob clear. Also good against the boss if he can get those weak point hits. And then the Strike Shot is maybe his one weak point. It's very unique in that in order to get the best damage out of it, you don't want to hit anything. So if you don't hit anything, you keep his speed up. And then once he gets near an enemy, he'll, claw at the guy. So there are some videos there of people getting like millions of damage with Meliodas, even though he's not hitting anybody. So those are pretty good. But yeah, the double null ability and then the dark element, and the fact that I got him pretty early in my JP Monster Strike career means that I've used him a lot, and he's been awesome for me. I still use him a lot. So yeah, Meliodas, number 8. And number 7 is Beelzebub, Transcendent. And yeah, this guy was kind of a surprise. He came at the end of last year, and just really solid. And also maybe obsoleting some characters. But high HP, high speed. And then he's got the double null ability, null gravity barrier, null damage wall. That was also a surprise. That is his evolution and his ascension put together. And then he's got the Demon's Bane, which is Mancer Slayer and Demon Slayer together, and also passive in him, so that goes into his bump combo as well. His bump combo is kind of sneakily strong. It's a super spread, but every shot does good damage, and then also he does 5 as opposed to the usual 3, so that's extra damage in there. And then the super meteor strike shot, or meteor struction, so he's pretty strong with that too. And then the strike shot is also unique. He gets a speed and power up, so you can use it for damage. But also any teammate he hits, he will give a barrier. And that lasts for 3 turns, so no damage to them for 3 turns. And then also, if there are mines and damage walls, they gain immunity to those as well. And then this can stop things like White Blasts or one-hit KOs, or even the gravity attack, so pretty crazy strike shot. And actually, I've been using this guy more than Uriel and Arthur. Especially for places with like laser barriers, this guy is easily better than them. And then also places with, again, Mancers or Demons, which are a lot of places. So yeah, this guy's kind of taken the place of a lot of top-tier characters in Strong Quests. Also in Dyna, I prefer this guy to the other two, because that strike shot where he creates the barrier can help protect against the that virus wave, so very good for there too. Yeah, Beelzebub, number 7. And number 6 is Nightingale, Ascension. If I had Ryoma, I would put Ryoma and Nightingale kind of like together in this same slot. But they are Pierce with Null Gravity Barrier and then the Element Slayer. And they're just really good. As you can see, I've used her a bunch, which might seem strange for a character that only has a single Slayer, single element Slayer. But it's just like whenever there is a water quest, I'm going to bring Nightingale. She's that good. But yeah, the passive Slayer goes into her bump combo, which is that cross laser, very strong. And then the very strong strike shot as well, where she gets speed and power up for her turn and then the next full round as well. So that's extra damage into her bump combo the next 3 turns, and then her next attack also, again, speed and power up. So very crazy. Nightingale, number 6. Okay, number 5 is Mito-koku. And then I could kind of put both characters into this, 5 ranking. I would say the evolution version is good for kind of all-around use, and then the ascension is better for fire quests, of course. Fire and block quests. I use her in a lot of block quests, and she's just fine. But she has the Fire Slayer and the Fire Resistance, so she's a good specialist in that sense. She also has healing, so she's a good damage source and a good support character. Really crazy stats, like tank HP, attack well over 30,000, and then speed close to 400. That's really crazy for a bounce character. Bump combo's not really worth talking about. Strike shot though, 12-turn strike shot where she gets null everything. So that increases her usability in quests with, of course, damage walls and things. So like in Enma-10 with damage walls, she's good in there. So you can use that in an emergency in case you're going to take damage from gimmicks, or you can use it for damage because it has a crazy multiplier to her attack for some reason, way higher than a 12-turn strike shot should have. But she's awesome. I love her. Mito-koku, number 5. And number 4 is Andina. And yeah, in here I might put anybody with a similar bump combo. So like Ganesha or Loki or somebody. but Andina is the only one that I have of that kind of super class bump combo. But she's a blast type. She's got the lock-on one-way laser and then the super glacier meteor thing. I have the S++ sidekick ableberry, so the values are a little skewed, but you can see how high it is. And then, yeah, she's got basically just the null warp and the null wind, but I bring her to all kinds of quests, regardless of gimmick. And then my other version of her, actually, she's got all of the metal collecting ableberries, so the score plus 100, and then the S rank time plus a minute. And I'm using her everywhere. It doesn't matter the element, she's just really strong. So yeah, she's definitely an MVP for me. So yeah, Andina Transcendent, number 4. Okay, number 3 is another character that I got pretty early, and that is Kaoru and Shinji, Ascension. Ascension Transcendent. And yeah, this character is very, very crazy. It's a Pierce with the double null, Minesweeper, null gravity barrier. That's a pretty good double null ability. And then a Synchro, which includes a barrier kind of effect. It doesn't block as much as like Mana's barrier, but still, it can block those initial attacks like power down, speed down, those kinds of things. And then they also have a very strong bump combo, that super spread. Not quite as strong as Beelzebub's, but close. And then the lock-on one-way laser, which is really crazy for a Pierce character. I've been saying this a lot lately, but in the old days, Pierce characters did not have strong bump combos. But now they do, and then Shinji Kaoru is one of the best examples of that, so easy to use, really strong. And then I use this character, or multiples of this character, all the time in the Fire Time trial in order to block that power down. And then also in Yamato Takeru 0. You know, they can pick up the mines, but they also have that AT field, which will block those speed bombs, which is a big source of damage in that quest. So these guys have been super, super helpful to me. So yeah, Kaoru Shinji, Transcendent, number 3. And number 2, sorry, another collaboration character, but this is King, and he's from the Nanatsu no Taizai collaboration. And this guy is like good everywhere. It's kind of crazy how versatile and how strong he is. But he's got a triple null, which is insane. Flight, null damage wall, null block. So he's good for lots of high-level quests. Bishamonten, Horai, the new Taishakuten. Yeah, just a ton of places. And then he's got the Rewind Blaster, and he's a blast type on top of that, which is so-so, but you know, better than the standard. And then the Strike Shot is insane. He creates that sunflower, and the sunflower shoots lasers every time you hit a character. And if you can get those lasers through the boss's weak point, you can easily, you know, take down an entire gauge with that Strike Shot. So, super good. Use them all over the place. Very happy to have him. So yeah, King, number 2. And number 1 is Ducky, Transcendent. And yeah, very happy to get this character. I never had her actually in the English version of the game, but I pulled her fairly quickly in the Japanese version of the game, and then she got the Transcendent form a month later, so that was perfect timing. Really crazy stats overall, very versatile double null ability, the null gravity barrier, null warp, and then she's a Pierce, so she can go to all kinds of places, like Kushinada and Izanami. I used her to make the max luck of those. But now I've been using her in Eden and Kanan, so lots of versatility. She's got the light resistance to get less damage from light characters. And then a bump combo is really good. She has the Glacier Meteor that hits all characters. That's really good for kind of consistent damage plus setting off counterattacks. And then the new Rampage Laser, which is, it doesn't do a lot of damage per hit, but in total, it's really, really strong. So it can be good for clearing a field of little guys, or if you have Ducky like in a corner, she'll shoot all of her lasers into the center of the screen, and so do some good concentrated damage there. And then Strike Shot is really good too. It's a speed and power up plus poison. So that's good damage up front, and then good extended damage as well. So yeah, very versatile, very good damage output. Ducky, number 1. Okay, so those are my picks for the top Hatcher monsters in supplement to the JP Players' picks. And yeah, hopefully that was interesting, and we'll see you again. Take care.